Hello, it's Ruth Gowdy and I'm here on a blustery day, and I'm so lucky to be among these beautiful snowdrops that are nodding in the wind. For many of us, snowdrops mean hope. And it's because it's often the first flower we see in spring. And I can even hear the birds singing as well in the background. So yes, their little white heads nodding in the wind really lift my heart after perhaps those cold, dark days that are a little bit more difficult through winter. In fact, they're called pierce-neige in French, which means to pierce the snow, and that's what they're doing for me. They're coming out of the cold, dark earth when it's really cold and horrid, and they're just bringing that little bit of cheer and uplifting me. The proper term for them is Galanthus nivalis, and that is derived from the Greek, which means milky white flowers of the snow. In fact, I'm sure many people like me think that they are a native of this country because we're so attached to them, but actually they're not. They're from the Middle East and from Northern Europe. So you can find them places like Armenia, Greece, Iran, all over that part of the world. And they weren't over here until the late 16th century, and we know that because it was noted in Gerard's Herbal in 1597. They were planted in Victorian gardens, so it was a really big thing to have lots of snowdrops and have your guests over to go for a walk through your snowdrops. And so they were actually planted, and they didn't escape into the wild until the 18th century really. Candlemas Day is a really important day. In fact, Candlemas bells is another name for snowdrop. So maidens were meant to go out and gather the snowdrops and bring them back into the church. And it was the time when Mary would have first gone to the temple after giving birth to Jesus to be blessed and purified. So that's why these beautiful white flowers also represent purity. But they are also associated with sadness because the Victorians believed that the outers, those three outer petals, looked rather like a shroud. And it's hardly surprising given that the snowdrops came out of that cold, hard earth in winter. And so they considered it very unlucky to pick the snowdrops and bring them into the house because it might invoke a parting or a death. But my favourite legend of all is about Eve. And she was missing the flowers when it was cold and bare. And so an angel plucked a snowflake out of the air and turned it into a snowdrop for her. And it was meant to break the spell of winter and to offer divine mercy. So there you are. I hope that you're able to get out into the woods, enjoy the snowdrops, and that it breaks the spell of winter for you.